Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Liam. This is my E30 touring restoration. I'm going to be looking at installing a new rad support. So I cut mine out years ago, fully rusty, not be able to reuse, but that was about 6 years ago now. So I have no references whatsoever to install the new one. Now I do want to make this removable, where it's cut here and here. So when the engine's going in or whatever, I can easily remove the front because of the size of the engine. Just make it a lot easier to kind of work on the engine and also install it or remove it. So this is a genuine BMW part, but it is a pre-facelift. So it has these little tow hooks. The facelift model for this is no longer available. So they're pretty much the same. There's a few little bits other than tow hooks. This little tab here, I don't know why that's there. I'll be removing all that, getting it test fit. That's why I put the doors and the wings and everything on. We can start getting the bonnet on, the valance on, just to make sure everything fits right. But yeah, let's get on with it. Also, forgot to mention, I've actually done this video already. I filmed pretty much the whole thing, nearly got this to fit, and then I gave up because I bought a pattern part with that code there, and it was just totally out of spec. And also, if you look at the forming, it's horrendous. Obviously, with this being on show right in front of the engine, I wanted it to be right. As I said, I tried to purchase this one, the facelift, no longer available, so I decided to go for a pattern. It was cheaper, but when you pay postage, it was about the same anyway. So I would recommend buying the pre-facelift and then just making it work. As you can see, it's pretty horrible. But also the height from that part to there was totally different. So that can go in the bin. Right, the first job is to remove these tabs that are left on from when I cut out the original core. This was back in 2017 now. So that went extremely well compared to the pattern part. I had loads of issues trying to get it to fit. It just wouldn't go in whatsoever with the width, the height. There was issues at the bottom here where this one was too low and it wouldn't connect properly, but this straight on, absolutely perfect. Really happy with the finish of it. To say that I've not messed around with the front end for so long, I was worried that there's going to be some misalignment. This kind of fills me with confidence that it's all in the correct position. The height's the correct at the back. I had a measurement from a friend, so I've marked the rear here and here, so I know that's where it sits. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Now regarding the removable part, obviously most people will just bolt in under here and you'll be able to remove it, the full thing, but also that means removing the wings. So I'm going to have a little think to see if I can cut it somewhere else where I can keep this part intact but still remove it. Now with the bottom, it's nice and easy, just chop all this out, add some tabs and then you can weld to those. But there, I think have a little think about that. So this is my plan for securing the bottom part to the chassis legs. Usually people just use a kind of a bracket with some rivnuts, but I'm really against using rivnuts on the car. So what this is a kind of a spacer to protect the frame from being able to crush. And you'll be able to use this to support the bolt that goes through into the bracket, which I'll show you later on. And here's just a few little covering plates to cover where the tow hook was, and also where the original brackets were to mount to the chassis legs. So as you've just seen, I've been able to cut through the underseal that unfortunately was done quite recently. Didn't get my plan in right, but here is the bracket. So it'll have a captivated M10 nut on the back, and then it'll bolt through the core with that kind of spacer involved, and able to clamp on there. So there's no way of it flexing at all. So with this chassis leg brackets ready to go, able to space out the frame so it sits in between the legs, we can now look to weld on the whole core support, starting with just doing all the drilling for the plug welds. Okay, so here we have it all welded in. So the plug welds are here, so that piece is in nice and solid all across the top. I've tacked in the lower brackets, so they're ready to be welded in when this comes out. So now my plan is, because I want to keep the wing on when I remove the front, I'll be able to cut down here and then add kind of an insert in here which I can bolt to. That means you can pull the front end off, cut the rear of this out, and then it should slide straight back on. So even though now it's welded on, it's time to just cut it back out again. So after a bit of cardboard aided design, these are the tabs that I'm going to go for. So these are able to locate the core support and slide it into the same position every time. So then we can move on to the drilling through. So once this is drilled through, I actually added some M6 captivated nuts on the inside. And now with both tabs made and a quick few tacks to hold it in position, I'm really happy with how it's come out. It's actually held it in exactly in position, and with using the bottom mounts, it just works perfectly. right, so that took me a lot longer than I imagined. However, it's fully in now. So we've got the 2 bolts on the tops, and there's another one just at the bottom. There's still a few little bits I need to go over, how I'm going to kind of seal it all up. However, it was mainly to get this in the position, because now this can be sent off for a custom radiator, which is going to go inside of here due to the engine, because of the size of it. Rather than having one behind, it's going to be, rather than being here, it's going to be in front here. So that's why I've took all the radiator mounts off. There you can see the bolt throughs. They are absolutely solid. This thing is rock solid. I'm really happy with the finish. And as you can see, did pretty well to keep the line. Obviously there's going to be a few movements which I can tidy up. Like here it's nipped a little bit, but I'm sure I can sort that. But compared to the usual fashion where you put the wings on here, I'm really happy. So yeah, thanks for watching.